All right, ladies and gents, we are here for Game 2 of the 1919 World Series. Still at Redland Field in Cincinnati, we have the visiting Chicago White Sox versus the hometown Cincinnati Reds. Spoiler alert, if you haven't watched the first game, you should go watch the first game. But I will tell you that the White Sox lead the series 1-0 after winning in 10 innings 2-1 against the Reds. So some 10-inning heroics resulted in the score. And so here we are for Game 2. In this game, I'll get you the starting lineups. For the White Sox, starting and playing in right field is Shane O'Collins. Eddie Collins playing second base and batting second. Buck Weaver batting third and playing third. Shoeless Joe Jackson playing left field as always and batting fourth. Happy Felsch batting fifth and playing center. Chuck Gendell batting after Felsch and playing first base. Risberg is next in the lineup. He's playing shortstop. Schalk is back behind the dish, batting eighth, and on the mound for them, Lefty Williams. Tall, skinny lefty. And then for Cincinnati, leading off, Maury Rath playing second. Jake Daubert playing first and batting second. Heine Groh playing third and batting third. Ed Roush batting fourth and playing center field. Pat Duncan out in left field, batting fifth. Larry Koff batting sixth and playing shortstop. Greasy Neal playing right field and batting seventh. Bill Raritan, as opposed to our catcher for the first game, losing my mind. He's a better defensive catcher, not a better hitter per se, because he's a blue-rated hitter, but definitely better on the defensive side. My mind's going blank. Yeah. Anyway, he's batting eighth, and then batting ninth is the pitcher, Slim Saleh. So, should be a great pitching matchup. We'll see if we have a little more action than we did in the last game, but it was definitely a nail-biter down to the 10th inning. So, national anthem has been played, and let's play ball. We got Slim Saleh, who's a lefty, and green rated, pitching to Shane O'Collins. He's yellow rated and a righty, so he's -1 to Slim. He rolls a 4. Slim rolls a 5, so the pitcher wins that with a 5 on his D20. So from his card, that is a ground out for Slim Saleh. That would be a ground out to the first baseman. So we start the game off with Collins grounding out to Gendell at first. Sorry, I was checking my scorebook here. All right, 1 out in the inning. And we go on to Eddie Collins, second baseman coming up. Eddie's green rated, but he's a lefty, so he takes a -1 disadvantage to Slim. He rolls a 2, that's downgraded to a 1. Saleh comes up with a 4 and an 11 on his D20. That's another ground out. That's a ground out to the shortstop. So another out for the inning. 2 down. All right, Buck Weaver coming to the plate. Just interesting, a side note, Cincinnati actually won the first 2 games in real life, but the speculation is because Chicago was throwing the games. Some of the guys definitely were involved in it, some weren't. There's just, a lot of speculation about who did what and who was on the take, who wasn't on the take, and so forth. But in this game, nobody's on the take. So Weaver's up. He's yellow rated, but he is a switch hitter, so no platoon disadvantage for him. He'll be batting from the right side against the lefty Saleh, but he's at -1 because he's yellow rated. He rolls a 4. -1 is a 3. Saleh rolls a 4 and a 5 on his card. That is another ground out. Ground out to the shortstop again, or as well. How about that? So 3 outs in the inning. 1, 2, 3. go the White Sox, and we move on to the bottom of the first. All right. And normally, for those of you that have seen the game, I keep track of innings over here on the right side, but I want you to see my rolls, so I'm keeping track of them where you normally can keep your score if you want to. All right. So Jackson will be up next for the White Sox in the top of the second, but right now, with nobody out, Maury Rath coming to the plate, facing Lefty Williams. Lefty Williams obviously is a lefty. Rath is a lefty, so he's got -1 there, but he's also yellow rated, and Williams is green. So Rath is batting at a -2. He rolls a 1. That makes him a -1. So the 2 the pitcher rolls enough to win. A 14 on lefty's card is a fly out. And that was a fly ball out to center field. So F8 there, 1 out in the inning. Moving on to Daubert. Daubert at first baseman. Decent hitter. Definitely a great defensive first baseman. Definitely an asset in the field. Daubert is -1. He's -2 because he's also a lefty. So that downgrades that to a 2. But the pitcher rolled a 1. So the 10 that Daubert rolled on his card is a single. All right. So he's on first. Let's see where his single went. His single was to center field. So he is on with a single. He's an average runner, so I'm going to say he held up there. If he's a green runner, we can do a check to see if he made it to second or not. But when they're average, I tend to just leave it alone. You know, there's a fine line between playing it the way you feel like it would play and gaming the game, you know, getting too granular with it. So I try not to do that, and I try to make it where you're not stuck one way or the other, right? Where there's not a hard and fast rule that you always have to do it that way. You can just play it the way you feel it should be played. Gives you a lot of flexibility that way. All right. So let's see. Daubert is on. That brings Heine Grow up. Grow up. All right. Grow's green rated and a righty, so no disadvantage against the lefty. Lefty Williams. So they're rolling straight up. So here we go. Grow rolls a 5. Lefty rolls a 1, so Grow wins it. That's a 20 on his card. A 20 on Grow's card. It's a bunt. It's a sack bunt. We'll see if he beats it out because he's got good speed. Okay, so on the bunt, Daubert makes it there. Daubert. I always try to do the French pronunciation, and it's not. All right. Now let's see if Grow really is out at first. All right. Let's see where he bunted it to. All right. It's fielded by the third baseman. So we got a charging. Charging Weaver. That's what I thought. I should want to say it without being right. Charging Buck Weaver on the ball. He's going to pick it up and throw it to Gandil to try to get the out at first. He is a yellow rated fielder. Gandil's green rated, so the defense on this is +1. Okay? The runner is +1, so they're even up. All right, so it's a 50-50 shot. 1 to 3, he's safe. 4 to 6, he's out. Rolls a 4, he's out at first. So there's 2 outs in the game. So Grow advances the runner, but he is out. So it was definitely a sack bunt. All right. Daubert at second, but there's 2 outs in the inning now. All right. All right, here we go. Ed Roush coming up. Ed's a lefty, so he's at a -1 disadvantage to Lefty Williams. He's green rated, so he doesn't suffer anything there. All right, here we go. All right. He rolls a 5, but Lefty throws an 8. So the pitcher wins that one with a 4 on his card. That is a ground out for the last out of the inning. That's a ground out to the third baseman. So for Roush, 3. And 2. All right. All right, Duncan will be up next. But no hits, no runs in the first inning. we move on to the top of the second. And for the White Sox, the famous shoeless Joe Jackson coming to the plate. The left fielder has some pop in his bat. Of course, for this era, pop in your bat, varies. Like I said in the last game, I think he had 7 homers this year and led the league in home runs. But he definitely has the capability there. So, all right, Jackson is a lefty. So for Salih, who's also a lefty, Jackson's rolling at -1. He rolls a 5, so does the pitcher, but -1 on the red batter's dice drops it to a 4. Salih has a 2 on his D20 because he won, and that's a ground out for him. Not a big strikeout pitcher. That's 4, so first out of the inning is a little grounder to second base. All right, so Joe Jackson goes down. So far in the series, Jackson really hasn't played well, hasn't hit well. All right, there's 1 out. Sorry, I didn't change that before. Happy Felsch coming to the plate. Felsch is a decent hitter. He's average to good. He is a good runner on the base paths and an average fielder. So against lefty Williams, he's a righty, but he is going to take a -1 disadvantage for being yellow rated versus lefty's green. So 5 -1 is a 4. The pitcher rolls a 4 as well. When we tie in this game, we pull a wild card. Rain delay. Pitcher's next D8 roll is -1. Okay? I'm going to leave that right here so I remember this. All right? And we're going to roll again. Now they're even because Felsch was -1. Now they're even up. All right? So we're going to roll it again. Two from the batter, 3 from the pitcher. Pitcher wins that battle with an 8 on his card. For Salih, that's a ground out. There's a ground out to the first baseman. So a little G3 action there. And there are now 2 outs in the inning. All right. All right. Felsch has a seat on the bench. All right. Chip Gainwell coming up. Great defensive first baseman for the White Sox. Gainwell is a righty, so the only disadvantage he suffers is the fact that he's yellow rated and Slim is green rated. So he's -1. Rolls a 6, that's downgraded to a 5, but Slim rolls a 7, so the pitcher wins. It's a 2 on his D20. All right, so that is a line out. Use the infield die. Line out to the catcher, which is basically a caught third strike. All right. So that is it for Chicago. Go on to the bottom of the second. Just an FYI, be sure and check out our website, barstoolgames.net. There's some videos, how to play. There's also some other examples up there. And then, of course, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, just please subscribe. This is where I'm always going to upload new videos, new content, all that good stuff. All right? All right, Pat Duncan's coming up, playing left field tonight. Pat's yellow rated versus lefty Williams. So he's at a -1. He's a righty, though, so it's a lefty-righty matchup. Doesn't hurt him. Here we go. Duncan rolls a mighty 2, -1 to adjust it. Pitcher rolls a 3, so the pitcher wins with a 5 on his D20. All right. The 5 on lefty Williams' card is a ground out. Use this to see. Now you could use any D6. I just include in the game you get a colored brown one. I use that for infield. Ground ball to the shortstop. So there's a little 6-3 action there. That brings up Kopp to the plate, and there's 1 out. I forget to move my outs, so y'all forgive me. Okay? I'll try to remember to do that. That's the only problem I have. We'll be doing good. All right. All right, here comes Kopp. He's a switch hitter, so no platoon disadvantage for him. He'll be hitting from the right side. He is yellow rated, though, so he's -1. He rolls a 1. Man, I'm rolling some horrible offensive numbers. He rolls a 1, -1's a 0. Pitcher rolls a 2, and a 16 on his D20. So a 16 is a fly out for lefty Williams. And there's a fly out to left field. All right. So now we have 2 outs, and Greasy Neal coming up. Neal's playing right field tonight. He's an average fielder, but he's definitely got the speed to cover the outfield. He's a lefty, so he's -1 to Lefty Williams, but he's also yellow rated, so he's rolling at -2. He rolls at 2. We downgrade that to 0. Pitcher rolled an 8 and a 5 on his D20, so a 5 is a ground out. So the 3rd out of the inning. Greasy Neal goes down with a whimper. However, here we go. He's green rated. That's a little number to the catcher, all right? But he's fast, so we're going to do a speed check, all right? Catcher is green rated, Raritan, okay? First baseman is green rated, so defense is +2. Neal's +1. That means he's at a -1 disadvantage, all right? So he has to roll a 1 or a 2 to be safe. Normally it'd be 1 to 3 safe, 4 to 6 out. Now it's 1 to 2 safe, 3 to 6 out, okay? And he rolls a 6. He is out for the last out of the inning, all right? So Neal is out on the number to the catcher. Quick throw to first base gets him. And we move on to the top of the 3rd. Still no score. A little bit of action, but we're moving along slowly. All right. All right, let's see. Gandil was up last time, wasn't he? Yeah, it's Risberg coming up. All right. Swede Risberg coming up. Our shortstop, definitely good speed on the base pass. He's below average fielder and an average hitter, okay? But definitely is in the game because he's got some speed as well on the base pass. Okay, so Risberg comes up against Slim Salih. Salih's a lefty. Risberg's a righty, so no disadvantage there, so he's just -1. He rolls a 1, which is pitifully downgraded to a 0. Pitcher rolls a 2 and a 9 on his dice. It's a ground out from the pitcher. Ground out to the second baseman. So 4-3 for the first out. All right, Ray Schalk, the catcher, coming up. Fantastic defensive catcher for the White Sox. He's a righty, so he's only -1. He's yellow. So you get to where I'm going slower than I would even because I'm telling you what I'm doing. If I wasn't telling you what I'm doing, I'd just be going boom, roll, because I know green versus yellow, green wins, right? And there's no platoon disadvantage. So -1. He rolls a 6 from Schalk. Salih comes out with a 1, and it's a 2 on the batter's D20. And that is a single for Schalk. And Schalk's single is to right field. All right. So Schalk on with a single to right. All right. And let's put him on first base so I don't forget him. All right. Pitcher, Lefty Williams coming up. All right. Williams is blue rated, so he's just flat out a -2 to Salih. All right. I don't add insult to injury. I mean, technically, if he's a lefty, he should. He's not. But if he was a lefty, I don't go ahead and do that for pitchers. They're at -2 already. I'll leave them at that. So, rolling at -2. He rolls a 1. -2 is a -1. Pitcher rolls a 6. It's an 8 on Sally's card. That's a ground out. We could have a double play here, folks. Got 1 out. It's a ground out. It's going to the catcher. Lefty Williams is slow as molasses. So the first out's going to happen here. All right. Catcher's going to throw the ball to the shortstop, get the out. Okay. So we have 2 outs now. Okay. And Schalk has been erased from the base pass. Now we're going to see if Lefty Williams, who's -1 as a runner, can make it to first. All right. So 6-3. It's our shortstop Weaver. He's average. Throwing to Gandil, who's green rated, +1. So the defense is +1. He's -1. So it's a 2-point swing. All right. So basically, For Lefty Williams to be safe, he'd have to roll a 1. Anything else, he's out. He rolls a 6, and he's out. So the double play does work, and that ends the inning. Chicago will be at the top of the order next time. So Sally hits into a double play. 2, 6, 3. All right. Moving on to the bottom of the third. Cincinnati coming up. All right, Redland. He's -2. He's a righty at least, so he doesn't have to suffer any more penalties. He at least is a righty, but he's still -2 going up against Lefty Williams. So Williams comes down and Williams deals. And let's see, Redland rolls a 2. -2 is a 0, but it doesn't matter. Lefty rolls a 7 and a 1 on his card. That's a strikeout, and we will see 1 to 3 looking, or 1 to 3 swinging, 4 to 6 looking. Struck him out looking. So Redland stood there with the bat on his shoulder and goes down. All right. Sali coming up. We got 1 out in the inning. All right, here we go. Sally's -2 to Lefty Williams. All right. 5 -2 is a 3. Pitcher rolled a 4 though, so the pitcher wins with a 9 on his card. So for Lefty Williams, that's a ground out. So Sally grounds out to the catcher, and he's not fast, so he is out on a little ball in front of the plate. All right. Back to the top of the order for Cincinnati. Okay. All right. Rath is up. 2 outs in the inning. Craig, get the outs right. Rath is -2 to Lefty Williams because he's a lefty. There we go. He rolls a 3. -2 is a 1. 6 from the pitcher, so the pitcher wins with a 14 on his D20. For Lefty Williams, that is a fly out. And kids, that's a fly out to right field. So the third out of the inning, the pop up to right field. We are rolling on. 4th inning. Top of the 4th coming up. Shane Collins up to bat for Chicago. Gotta go move the car. Sorry, that's Boston. Car. Chicago's car. Move the car. Gotta get it out of the street. Okay. Collins is coming up. He's a righty, but he is yellow. Sally is green, so he's at a -1 against Sally. Right. He rolls a 6, downgrade that to a 5. Sally rolls a 4, so Collins gets a hit. It's a 1 on his D20, and that's a single for him. All right, so Collins is on first base. And let's see where his single went. His single was an infield single to the first baseman, or in or around first base. So he is on. All right, now we have Eddie Collins coming up. Second baseman, fleet-footed, good hitter. He's green rated, but he's a lefty, so he's taking a -1 disadvantage to the plate against Sali here. All right. And he screws the pooch. He rolls a 1, -1's a 0. Sali rolls a 3 and a 12 on his D20. For Sali, that is a fly out. All right. Now we're going to see if Collins, the other Collins, Shano, can tag up or not. That's a fly ball to left field. All right. So Eddie Collins is out on a fly to left. Taking a look at Collins, you can see he's a blue rated runner. All right. Blue rated means he's -1. So typically not going to tag up and go anywhere, especially when you've got a good left fielder out there. And our left fielder out there is Duncan, and he's average to good, okay? So we're going to leave Collins where he is on first. Buck Weaver is up. Got 2 outs, right? Yep. No, wait. What out? I got to quit leaving that there. You guys yell at me or something. I know you can't, but, you know, feel free to yell anyway. All right, he's holding up at first base. Buck Weaver coming to the plate. Now, Weaver's a switch hitter, so no platoon penalty. He'll be batting from the right side of the plate. The lefty, Slim Salih, delivers, and Weaver's at -1. Weaver rolls a 6, -1's a 5. Salih rolls a 5, so Weaver wins with a 7 on his card. A 7 on Weaver's card is a single. So right now, we're going to move Collins along to second. He'll slowly make his way to second, and Weaver is at first. All right, so Collins is kind of slowing the works up. Let's see where our single went for scorekeeping purposes. And it looks like it was a little number. Weaver would have beaten it out. He's a green runner. So we will put him on first base. It wasn't an out, so he's on at first. All right. Shoeless Joe Jackson coming to the plate. As I said, Jackson didn't hit well in the first game. See if we can get something going here. All right. Jackson is rolling at -1 because he's a lefty. He rolls a 4, -1 is a 3. Not this time. Pitcher rolls a 6 and a 15 on Salih's card. That's a fly out. Another fly out. There's a fly out to the first baseman. Everybody holds up. Let's see. 3, a little infield fly action. That's right. 2 men on. Less than 2 outs. Okay. All right. Felsh coming up to the plate. All right. Happy Felsh comes up with 2 men on, 2 outs. All right. Weaver's green rated. Yeah. But Collins is not. So, a little slow on the base pass. All right, here's Felsh. He's yellow rated, so he's at -1. 6 -1 is 5. It's a 4 for the pitcher, so the batter wins it with a 6 on his card. That's a single for Felsh. Okay, so make sure we do this. And it was a single to left field. Yeah. So Felsh is on, and we have the bases loaded for the White Sox. All right, that brings up Chip Gandil. Ducks on the pond, 2 outs. Bases loaded. Gandil doesn't have any home runs on his card, which means this year he hit few enough to them not to count for him. But he does have 3 doubles and a triple possible on here, and as well as 11 singles. So he's likely to get a hit here, assuming Salih doesn't blow it by him. So he is batting at a -1 disadvantage. He rolls a 2, downgrade to a 1, but Salih wins it with a 3. He rolls an 11 on his deep 20. For Salih, that's a ground out. Bases loaded. Ground out to second base. So that will end the inning. We'll just say it's a quick 4-3 to end the inning. 3rd out. And down go the White Sox. Okay? So we'll clear the bases. Next. Yep. And Jake Daubert comes to the plate for Cincinnati. All right. Lefty Williams still on the mound. Both pitchers their average outs or average innings per outing, 7.2 for Lefty Williams and 7.8 for Slim Sallee. So I'm not going to do a fatigue check for them until the 8th inning, unless there's a problem, unless they, get injured or kicked out of the game or whatever, which can happen. All right. So here we go. Wrath is rolling at -2 to Lefty Williams. 4 minus 2 is a 2. Pitcher rolled an 8. Pitcher wins it with a 14 on his D20. That's a fly out. And that is a fly out to the second baseman. All right. All right. Daubert's out. 1 out in the inning. Heidi Groh coming to the plate. Grow, baby, grow. All right, he's green rated. He's a righty, so he's not got it. He's rolling straight up against Lefty Williams here. Williams delivers. He rolls a batter rolls a 4. Pitcher rolls a 7. Pitcher wins with a 19 on his card. That's a line out. That's a line drive to the third baseman. And there are now 2 outs in the inning. Ed Roush coming up. Let's see what Ed can do here. Ed's green rated, but he's a lefty, so he's at a -1 disadvantage. Ed rolls a 6, best he can do. -1's a 5, but our pitcher, Lefty Williams, rolls a 6 and a 14 on his D20, so he's 1, and it's a fly out for him. And that is a fly out to right field. So we made some contact, but nobody went anywhere. All right, and we move on to the top of the 5th. Sorry, I didn't move that down there. Top of the 5th, nobody on, nobody out. I'm guilty, sometimes I'm not. That's why I keep a scorebook, so I don't miss anything. All right, here we go. Top of the 5th, Swede Risberg up, our shortstop. He's yellow rated, and he's a righty, so against Sallee, he's at a -1. He rolls a 2. -1 makes that a 1, and a 3 from our pitcher, and an 11 on the pitcher's dice. So Sallee gets him to ground out, and he grounds out to the shortstop. So a quick throw over to first base, and Risberg has a seat in the dugout. All right. Ray Schalk, the catcher, coming up. Schalk's yellow rated, but he's a righty, so he's at -1 to Sallee. Sorry, I keep having to move my little dice tray around here. It's trying to escape. All right, so -1. Rolls a 5, -1's a 4. Pitcher rolls a 4, so we pull a wild card, kids. What is going to happen? Defensive shift. This is in 1919. Unheard of. They're putting a shift on. The problem is, Schalk's not a left-handed batter, so this card we will just discard to the bottom of the deck. If it's a lefty batter, he faces a penalty, but he's not a lefty. All right, so no shift. We roll it again. All right, -1 here for Schalk. Both of them roll a 4, but you take away the 1 from Schalk. Pitcher wins it with an 11 on his card. Another ground out. That is back to the pitcher. So Schalk being average, he doesn't get a chance to try to beat that one out. So that's 2 outs. I just do the speed checks for outs to first for the pitcher and the catcher if you have if you're green rated, and then I do, if you get a hit to them and you're blue rated, I check them too. So just a way to keep things a little more realistic. All right, Lefty Williams. I don't know why I have this. 1 second. Little housekeeping over here in the scorebook. All right, Williams is -2 to Sallee. He rolls a 2, that makes it a 0. Pitcher rolls a 2, so pitcher wins it with a 5 on his card. For Sallee, that is a ground out, kids. That's the 3rd out of the inning. It was a ground out right back to the pitcher again. And Williams is not going to beat that out. So 3rd out of the inning. And there go the White Sox. Bottom half of the 5th. All right. Pat Duncan coming to the plate. All right. We're rolling along here, almost halfway through. Second game. No score yet. We definitely threatened. The White Sox definitely threatened. Had bases loaded at one point, but we're not able to get any runs in. So here we go. Lefty Williams dealing to Pat Duncan. Duncan's a righty, so he's at a -1 advantage. 2 -1's a 1. Lefty throws a 3 and wins, and so he's got a 7 on his card, and that's a ground out for us. Ground up second base. So a little grounder to second base. All right. Kopf is coming up next. All right. Kopf's a switch hitter, so no penalty there. He's hitting from the right side. He's -1. He rolls a 6. -1's a 5. Pitcher rolls a 1. So Kopf wins that battle. That's a 12 on Kopf's card. That is a single. All right. Now let's see where he hit that single. He hit it to left field. All right. So Kopf's at first. Hit to left field. He's going to hold up at first base with his single. He's green rated, but with a green rated, yellow rated left fielder and a second baseman that's green rated, probably best just to hold him up there since there's no score in the game yet. All right, so he's holding up at first. Greasy Neal coming to the plate. All right. We're going to put a hit and run on here, and the way this works is I'm calling a hit and run right now. That means Kopf is taken off. He's a green rated runner. Okay. If Neal does not get a hit, then we do a speed check on Kopf and see if he's able to steal the base anyway. All right. But if Kopf is out, then we'll play it just like we would anything else. We'll check the speed of Kopf into the equation. So Neal is at -1 to Lefty Williams, and he gets a hit. He has a 3 to Neal to Lefty's 1, and it's a 19 on Neal's card. That is a bunt. He lays down a beauty. Lays down a bunt to the first baseman. It's a sac bunt, so the runner is going to make it to second base. Now we're going to see, because Neal is green rated, if he's actually out at first. All right, he's green rated. So it was sac bunt to the first baseman. So basically we're talking about the first baseman and the pitcher here. First baseman fielded the ball, or second baseman, sorry. First baseman fields the ball, second baseman covering it first. All right? I mean, you guys could call it however you want. I think in this case it would be a quick flip back that way to the second baseman. All right? So 3 to 4, that is Gandil at first. He's green rated. Second baseman is Eddie Collins. He's green rated. They're +2 on defense. Okay, Neal's +1, so he's at a -1. So Neal's got to get a 1 or a 2 to be safe. And he rolls a 2. He is safe. So not only does he move the runner over, he's safe at first. Or not? Yeah, he moves the runner over and he's safe at first. So fantastic bunt there, right down the first baseline. And Cincinnati has 2 runners on in the inning with only 1 out. All right. All right, Redland coming to the plate. And again, Redland, not known for his bat, but his defense. He's going to give it the old college try here. He's -2 to Lefty Williams. So there's 1 out in the inning. Here we go. Redland rolls a 3. Downgrade that by 2. That's a 1. He ties with the pitcher. So we're going to pull a wild card. Oh, it's a bench clearing brawl. Pitcher ejected from the game. Lefty Williams just got tossed. So, Chicago fans, let's go to the well and put somebody else in. That's the suck. All right. I think we're going to go. I had an idea who to use anyway. We're going to stick with the lefty. I'm going to put John Sullivan in there. We'll put Sully in. All right. He's green rated and he's a lefty. And he does have, at the top of his card, he's got one more strikeout available than Lefty Williams did. So maybe we'll get a few more of those in here for him. All right. So when you see, I'm going to change his batter card out too. Caught, Danforth. Not Bill James. Not Red Pepper. Here, I'm going to do this. For the White Sox, I'm going to use this placeholder for the pitcher. They're all blue rated, so I'm just going to throw it in there like that. All right. So Sullivan's pitching. Raritan's still. I lost the dice. Hang on. Timeout. So. Oh, great. Where'd it go? Hang on. I have to get up and do a search. Oh, you're kidding me. Oh, there it is. All right, come here. Gotcha. The perils of baseball. Tabletop variety. All right. So Raritan's up again. This time facing Sullivan, since Williams got ejected for whatever he did. Maybe he was doctoring the ball, although that was pretty much allowed back then. Here we go. He's at -2. 5 -2 is a 3. So Sullivan wins that one with an 18 on his pitcher's card. That's a line out. Let's see, that's a line out too. Line out to shortstop. All right. Let's see here. Both these guys are green rated, so both of them make it back to base safely. I can do checks on them. I just typically tend to think if you're a good base stealer and a good base runner, you're back. Okay. Either one of them was stealing. So, all right, Raritan's out. So 2 outs in the inning. Still 2 men on. Sully is coming up. He is at -2. All right. Okay. He rolls a 3. -2 is a 1. He loses to the pitcher, Sullivan. It's a 17 on his card. That's a fly out. So the final out of the inning is a fly out to right field. No, I take that back. That only puts us at 2 outs. My bad. I'm trying to get us out of here too quick. All right, 2 outs. 2 men on. Oh no, I take that back. Raritan lined out. That's right. I was right. All right, 3 outs. Inning over. Everybody clear the bases. All right. Here we go. Nobody out. We're going to the top of the 6, kids. All right. And let's see. Top of the order next time for Cincinnati. Just like it is right now for Shane Collins coming up for Chicago. All right. No runners on. Okay. He's rolling at -1 against Sully still. Sully's still going strong. Batter rolls at 1, -1 is a 0. Sully rolls an 8. So the pitcher wins with a 3 on his card, and that's a ground out on Sully's card. And that is a ground out right back to the pitcher. He fires it over to first base and Daubert and gets the out. All right. Good. All right, Eddie Collins coming up. We got 1 out going on here. All right. Collins rolls a 5. The pitcher rolls a 1, so Collins wins that. He's green rated. He was at a -1. It doesn't matter. a 12 on his card. That's a triple from Collins. So he steps to the plate and slaps a triple down the right field line. All right. So Collins, he's got speed though, and he's at third. Now let's check and see. Maybe he got an inside park homer here, kids. Let's check and see. Our right fielder for Cincinnati is Neal. Neal's yellow rated. All right. Neal's throwing to our catcher, who's green rated, Redland, best defensive catcher they've got. So they're +1 on defense. All right. And our runner, Collins, is +1. You know, at this point in the game, they're even up. So it's a 50-50 proposition whether he's going to make it. I'll say Collins holds up at third, his first run of the inning. There's nobody out. He's going to wait for Weaver to try to hit him in. All right. So he is on third with a triple. And Weaver comes to the plate. All right. Weaver is a -1 to Salih. Here we go. Weaver rolls a 2, -1's a 1. 7 from the pitcher and a 9 on his card. A 9 on Salih's card is a ground out. That's a ground out to the third baseman. So we're going to hold the runner there. Yeah. Groh is an average to good third baseman, so he's going to try to hold the runner. He's going to make the throw. Now, the difference is, all right, let's take a look at Eddie Collins again. He's green rated, okay? So the play, if he goes, the play that's going to be made is from first to the catcher, all right? Daubert's green rated, so is the catcher. They're +2 to his +1 green rating. He's not going to chance it, so he's going to hold up, all right? So chances are, odds say he'd have been out at the plate. All right, so he's holding up. Now we got 1 out, all right? Shoeless Joe Jackson coming to the plate. All right. Jackson's not a big bunter on the season as it shakes out. On his card, there's 1 bunt on there. So that means he doesn't bunt a lot, whereas you have others that have several, 2, 3, 4 bunts and sack bunts. All right. So Jackson's coming up. He is green rated, but he's a lefty. So for Salih, he's at a -1. All right. So Shoeless Joe Jackson. Let's see if we can get a run in here. Jackson has been rolling terribly. Rolls a 1. The pitcher rolls a 1, but you got to take 1 away from Jackson, so the pitcher wins. Salih with a 15. It's a fly out. Oh, is it going to be enough to score? It's a fly out to left field. So we're going to see. That's an F8 for the second out. 2 outs. Now we're going to see if our buddy Collins, can tag up and score. All right. Joe Jackson is average. I'm sorry. Joe Jackson is actually the one that was up. We're looking at our left fielder is not Joe Jackson. Duncan. Pat Duncan. I keep forgetting who's. I got 2 outfielders here, center field and left. He's yellow rated, throwing to a green rated catcher. All right. So that's +1 on defense. Okay. So we're going to see what happens here. Eddie Collins. Oh, wait a minute. That's third out. Never mind. I'm losing my mind. Third out. Into the inning. Everybody out of the pool. Sorry, guys. I'm getting all excited. Trying to score a run for somebody. Don't care which side. Just, somebody. All right. Chicago goes down in the 6th. We're going to the bottom of the 6th. Here comes the Reds. All right, we got Maury Rath coming up, leading off the inning. Still facing lefty Williams, or John Sullivan, I'm sorry. Lefty wins. Boot it out of there. So he's at a -2 to Sullivan. 6 and -2 is a 4. Pitcher rolls a 5. Pitcher wins with a 2 on his card. That's a strikeout. And let's see, is it strikeout swinging for Rath? So first out of the inning. All right. So Sully sets him down. And Daubert's coming up. He's at a -2 as well. He rolls a 3, -2 is a 1. Pitcher rolls a 2. Pitcher wins that with a 10 on his card, and that is a ground out. All right. Ground out to the shortstop. So quick throw to first, and there are 2 outs. And Gandil sends it around the horn. All right. Heine Groh coming to the plate. Reds could use to get something going here. Groh's green rated and not a lefty, so he's rolling straight up. He rolls a 4, but the pitcher rolls a 7. Pitcher wins with a 6 on his card, and that's a ground out for the 3rd out of the inning. Ground out to first base. So 1, 2, 3. In the 6th, the Reds go down. We are moving on to the 7th, still with no score, kids. Definitely a pitcher's battle going on here. So 7th inning. And Happy Felsch is coming to the plate. Felsch has singled and grounded out to first, but he hasn't scored, obviously. All right. All right, Felsch is -1 to Sully. 3 -1's at 2. Sully rolls an 8. Pitcher wins. It's a 20 on his deep. 20. That's a line out. A line out straight back to the pitcher. So Felsch made good solid contact right back at Sully. Fields the position and makes the out. All right, Gandil's coming up. He's at a -1 to Sully as well. Let's see what he can do. 3 -1 is a 2. Pitcher rolls a 7. Pitcher wins with an 18 on his card. That's another line out. And again, straight back up the middle. So 2 in a row. All right. Sully is helping himself here. All right. Here we go. Risberg. 2 outs in the inning. Risberg coming to the plate. He is at a -1 disadvantage. And I'll tell you what, pitchers are just killing him. Pitcher wins that one 7-2, 7-1 actually, with a 3 on his card. For Sully, that's a ground out. Okay. That's a ground out, not to the pitcher. It goes to the shortstop. So 3rd out of the inning. And the 6th is the top 7th over, heading to the bottom of the 7th. All right. Roush coming to the plate for Cincinnati, trying to get something going here. Last game was tied up to the end. This one looks like it's going to be as well. All right. Sullivan's still in. He's got another inning and part of another one before I have to do a fatigue check on him. Sully lasts to the 8th. I'll check him then. Roush is green rated, but he's a lefty, so he takes a -1 disadvantage. And he rolls a 1. Man. It's a 0. Pitcher rolls a 7. A 3 on Sully's card is a strikeout. Let's see if it's a strikeout. Swinging or looking? Strikeout looking. Locked him up. And there's 1 out. All right. So here we go. Moving along. Pat Duncan coming to the plate. Duncan's yellow rated and a righty, so he's -1. He rolls a 1. It's a 0. Pitcher rolls a 7 and a 10, the ground out. So I want you guys to know I'm not intentionally spinning these to roll bad for the batters. Just how it's working out. Some games it's hit, 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 hit. But not here. Alright. Cops is coming to the plate now. 2 outs in the inning. He's a switch hitter. So he's just at -1. He rolls a 2. Pitcher rolls a 7. Pitcher wins with an 11. That's a ground out on Sullivan's card. Ground out to second base. So, just like that, inning is over. Top of the 8th inning. Here we go. Chicago coming to the plate. Shock is up this time. So the catcher comes up. Now, first thing I need to do, Salih is now in the 8th, so he's past his average innings per outing. So I'm going to do a check on him. 1 to 3, he gets downgraded to a D6. 4 to 6, he doesn't. 1 to 3, he'd be downgraded. So for me, for my money, I'm going to swap him out for a pitcher that doesn't have to roll a D6. All right. So let's say Dolph Luke is going to come in. Another lefty. So hold on that side. He's got 3 strikeouts on his card. 4 to 12 is a ground out for him. So strikeouts, ground outs, flyouts, and a couple 3 lineouts available for him on his card. All right. So he's coming in against Shock to face Shock. He's a lefty, so Shock is -1 to him because of his rating. 3 -1 is a 2. Pitcher rolls at 2 as well. Pull a wild card. Drop third strike. Batter safe at first base. All right, then Shock is on. And we have Sullivan coming up to the dish. All right. Sullivan is -2 to Luke. He rolls a 4, -2 is a 2. A 6 from the pitcher. Pitcher wins that battle with a 12. That's a ground out. Could be double play. Let's see here. Shock just has average speed. Sorry. This one. That's back to the pitcher. All right. So he's out. There's going to be 1 out on this. The first one is going to be Shock. So he's out. Sorry, I keep forgetting to move that, y'all. Now we're going to see -2 if our pitcher, Sullivan, makes it to first. All right. So basically, the pitcher just threw to shortstop. Our shortstop is Kopf. He's blue rated. Kopf's going to throw back to the green rated Daubert. Daubert's blue rated, so they're even up. So it's even and -1. So our pitcher has to roll a 1 or 2 to be safe. And he rolls a 3. So he's out on that one. All right. So there we go. Shock was our first out at second. All right, 2 outs in the inning. Back to the top of the order for Chicago. Neither team getting much going here, folks. All right. Collins up to bat. He is at a -1. Rolls a 6, -1's a 5. Pitcher rolls a 1. So he wins that battle with a 15 on his card. And for Collins, that is a triple. So he's going to round the bases, end up on third base. All right. So for Collins, that's his second time to be on third base tonight. Hopefully they can get him in this time for the White Sox sake. So he's at third base. Let's see where that triple went. It's like a gapper out in center field. All right. So, and Collins is blue rated. So if he made a triple, kind of like when Benji Molina ran for the hit for the cycle. Pretty rare. All right, so he's standing on third base. There is 2 outs in the inning. Okay, and here comes Eddie Collins. Let's see what Eddie's going to do. 2 down, and Collins is a lefty, so he's at -1 to Dolph Luke. He rolls a 4, -1 makes it a 3, so they tie. Let's see what the wild card deck has to say about this. Oh, it's a balk. Runners advance 1 base. So on a balk, the run scores. Collins scores, and the White Sox are up 1-0 in the top of the 8th. Oh, that's painful. Collins still at the plate with 2 outs, and he is still at a -1. 5 -1's a 4. Pitcher throws a 3. It's a 16 on Collins' card. That's a base on balls for him. So he is on with base on balls after the balk. That's rough. Luke makes a mistake that costs him a run. So here we go. Collins on first. Buck Weaver coming up right now. 2 down, 1 run in. Here we go. Weaver is a switch hitter, so he's just -1 to Dolph Luke. 3 -1's a 2. Pitcher threw a 1. Batter wins that with a 5 on his card. That's a single. All right. Collins has good speed. So let's take a look and see where the single went, and we'll see if he moved on from there. Nope, this is an infield single. All right. So Weaver's at first. Collins at second. All right. All right. So 2 men on now for Shoeless Joe Jackson. Jackson needs to redeem himself. He has not played well so far in this series. He is 0 for. Let's see. He is a lefty, so he's -1 to Luke. That's a 5. That's going to be a hit. It's a downgrade to a 4. Pitcher had a 2. A 6 on Shoeless Joe's card is a single. All right. So he rips a single. That moves in mess around. Collins is on third. Bases are loaded. Let's see where Jackson's single went to. It's a single to left field. All right. So ball in left field. Bases loaded. And let's see whether we think Collins would want to go home on that. Collins is a green rated runner. Okay. Our left fielder is Duncan. He's yellow rated. Catcher's Raritan. He's green rated. All right. So +1 there against Collins +1. You know, they're up 1 run here, but there's 2 outs in the inning. So with bases loaded and the way this game has gone, I think they might send Collins. I mean, you know, they might have him round third and go for it. If he does, it's going to be straight up. That's what I'm going to say happens. All right. You guys might disagree. You might say they'd hold him up at third with 2 outs in the game where it is. But at this point, 1 run probably is going to hold it. And if he makes it 2, it's really probably going to hold it. So 1 to 3, he's safe. 4 to 6, he's out. And it's a 5. He is out trying to make it home to end the inning. Boom. All right. All right. Let's see here. That makes it. That was a 7-2 third out of the inning. All right. That ends the inning. Happy Felch comes up next time. And you guys might disagree. You guys might have managed that or played that differently, and that's fine. You don't have to agree with the way I did it. That's the beauty of this game. You can make those choices for yourself. And again, like anything else, I didn't give you a hard and fast rule because, to me, I wanted it to be more organic and something that you could play it however you felt. Because, let's be honest, most of us do that anyway. We get the hard and fast rules with the game, and then we make up our own homebrew rules to fit the way we like to play. So that's how I designed this game from the beginning. All right, bottom of the inning, there's 1 run in, only run in for the White Sox, and they lead So we are now in the bottom of the 8th with Greasy Neil coming to the plate. All right. Neil is a yellow rated hitter. He's a lefty though, so for John Sullivan, that's a -1 for Neil. I guess I better take these runners off base. Gotta keep me honest over here. All right, let's see if Cincinnati can come back here. All right, Neil's -1. That's a 1 from the pitcher. It counts. -1. That's a 3, so he wins that with a 20 on his card. A 20 is a bunt for a hit. Neil's green rated, so he makes it to first base. All right. If he's blue rated, we do a speed check on him. No need though; he's plenty quick. So he bunts to get on. So now we're talking. The Reds have a runner on. Raritan's still batting. He's at a -2. That is rough. Let's see. Hang on a second. Defensively good, but we need a little offense here. Not Cueto's an outfielder. Let's throw Wingo back in there. No, Wingo will still be... It doesn't matter. We're going to keep the defense in there. So Raritan is -2. Wingo will be -2 as well. So we're just going to leave Raritan in. -2. Alright. Rolls a 3. -2 is a 1. Pitcher rolls a 6. And a 13 on his card. 13 is a fly out. Alright. That is a fly out to right field. Okay. So Neil is at first. Our right fielder again is Collins. All right. So Collins is a green rated fielder. Okay. So he'd be making the throw to second base, to the shortstop. He's green rated. Our shortstop's blue rated. That makes him average. Okay. That gives Neil a chance. We're going to take it. Okay. Because Neil is on, let's see, Raritan had F9 for the first out. All right. Okay. 1 to 4, he's safe because he has a +1 on here. It would be 1 to 3, but 1 to 4, he's safe. So a 5 or a 6, he's out. Otherwise, he makes it to second base. It's a 3, he's on at second base. So Neil, on Raritan's fly ball, tags up and makes it to second. So Raritan puts the runner in scoring position, but there's now 1 out. All right? All right. And right now, we got the pitcher coming up. The pitcher is not Sali, it's Luke. Okay? That's why I use those pitcher cards. I can just, because swapping the pitcher, a blue pitcher for a blue pitcher, is just irritating. Just have to keep doing it. So let me find that card. Hang on. I'm actually, you know what I'm going to do is, let's not do that. We're going to put so what we're going to do, we're going to put Fisher in the game. Fisher's a righty, plays third and shortstop. Probably going to sub him for Cobb. But Fisher is only a -1 to Sullivan. All right. So we got 1 out, run on second. Ray Fisher coming to the plate. All right. There we go. 3, it's a -1. Pitcher wins with a 13 on his card. It's a fly out. That's a fly out to center field. All right, so F8. This is now Fisher. All right. Two outs, kids. All right, Fisher's out there. All right. Wrath is coming up. Now we have two outs in the inning. It's getting a little more dire here in Cincinnati. All right. All right, here comes Wrath. Wrath against Luke is -2 to him. He's a lefty, and he's also yellow rated to Luke's green, so he's at -2. Rolls a 1, that's a -1. Pitcher rolls a 2, a 17 on his card. Sorry, I mean on Sullivan. All right, and they're both lefties, so that still holds true. Pitcher wins that one with a 17 on the card. It's a fly out for the third out of the inning. Cincinnati does not score the run. It's a fly out to right field. So they go down in the 8th. We go to the 9th. Still no runs for Cincinnati, but one run for Chicago. And Happy Felsch is coming to the plate. That's too bad. All right. Nobody out. And let's see, defensively, Fisher's going to play short. I need a new pitcher. Play short. And let's see. So we've got Fisher coming up. Fisher at 9th. He's going to play shortstop, so Kopf is out of the game. And we've got a new pitcher coming in for Cincinnati. Reagan's coming in. He's a righty. Let's get our pitcher batter card here. All right, here we go. All right, and let's see, we now have Felsch coming up with Reagan coming in to throw against him. It's a righty-righty matchup, so Felsch is at -2. Reagan. Felsch rolls a 5, Reagan rolls a 7, -2 with a 3. Pitcher wins with a 4 on his D20. That's a ground out on Reagan's card. Ground out to second base. All right. So here we go. One out in the top of the 9th. Chick Gandil, the first baseman, coming up. And Chick is a righty, so he's at -2 because he's yellow. So Reagan was chosen for a reason. 2 -2 is a 0. 7 from the pitcher. He wins with a 10 on his card. It's a ground out. So a 10 and a ground out to the first baseman. So far, Reagan's making quick work of the White Sox here in the top of the 9th. Risberg coming in. Okay. 2 down. Risberg is a righty as well, so he's -2 here. That's a -1 for him. So the pitcher wins that with a 4 on his card. Another ground out from Reagan, who comes in and it's a shutdown inning. Shuts them down with their infield grounder there, the first baseman. All right. So we go to the bottom of the 9th to see if the hometown team can come back. All right. All right. Jake Daubert coming up in the bottom of the 9th. Daubert is yellow rated, but he's a lefty. So for Sullivan, who can go this inning. Actually, let's see. Yeah, lefty. So he's -2 to Sullivan here. Sullivan goes 3.8 innings, so after this inning, I'll have to do a check on him. But so he's -2. Batter rolls a 6, -2 is a 4. Pitcher rolls a 3. That's a hit by Daubert, or it's an on base for Daubert. And he's on with a little drag bunt, gets him on first base. We'll see field the bunt just for grins. A little bunt to the shortstop. And so Daubert is on first base. Ducks on the pond for Cincinnati. Okay, Heine Groh coming up. Groh is a righty, and he's green rated, so he has no disadvantage against Sullivan. So here we go. Straight up. Batter rolls a 4, pitcher rolls a 1. Batter wins with a single. All right, that puts Groh on first. Daubert is average. He's going to hold up at second unless this was hit to a fielder that can't throw. Nope, a little infield single to second base, or towards second base. All right. So we have 2 singles, 2 men on, and nobody out for Cincinnati here in the bottom of the 9th. They are getting something going here. Okay, Roush is coming up. Roush is a lefty, so he's -1. -1 to Sullivan. All right, here we go. He rolls a 3, -1's a 2. Pitcher rolls a 7. An 18 on his card is a line out. So there's a line drive somewhere. Line drive to first. So we're going to see if our runners got back. All right. Grows at first. Our first baseman is green rated. Okay. So it's even up. It's 50-50 for Grow. Okay. So we have 1 out on the line out. Okay. Now we're going to see if Grow made it back. Okay. So 50-50. 1 to 3 he made it. 4 to 6 he didn't. He did not. He's out. There are now 2 outs in the game. All right. Now we're going to assume, obviously, that Daubert made it back. But because it was hit to first base, that was an easy play for Gandil to make. So, Roush causes a double play, basically. And this is a L 3, 2, 1. All right, 2 outs. Pat Duncan coming up. Runner in scoring position. Duncan can still make it happen. All right. Duncan is a righty, so he's just -1 to Sullivan. All right. So we only have 1 runner on. Here we go. He rolls a 4. -1's a 3. That's good enough to win it. An 8 on Duncan's card is a single. Duncan slaps a single to right field. All right. So here we go. Daubert coming around. He's at third. Our right fielder is Collins, who is green rated. He'd be thrown to the plate to a green rated catcher. Shock. They're +2. Daubert's just average on the base paths. If we send him, it's not going to be pretty. He's going to have to basically roll a 1 to be safe. So we'll hold him up. Okay. We're going to do a substitution here. We don't want the pitcher hitting. So we're going to put in. Put Pop back in. No. All right. We're going to put. Let's see. Right-handed batter. All right, let's put Cueto in. Cueto's a righty, so he'll be just -1 to Sullivan. All right. Man, I'm tempted to try to squeeze on this, but with everything on the line, I think I'll pinch hit and see if Cueto can get a hit here. Because if I go ahead and call the squeeze and he doesn't get it, he doesn't get hit, he'll be out anyway. He gets a hit, it guarantees he's going to score the run if he gets a hit anyway. So, all right, here we go. He's -1 to Sullivan. Here it is for all the marbles. He rolls a 3. The pitcher rolls a 3. -1 means he's out. That's a 12 on the pitcher's card, which is a ground out for the 3rd out of the inning. Ground out right back to the pitcher. So Cincinnati loses the game. 3 outs. Ball game. On a 1-0 score from Chicago. So the White Sox take game 2. They are 2 games ahead in the series. We're going to move to Chicago for the next game. Thanks for watching. Again, it's All-Star Lineup Baseball over at barstoolgames.net. If you have any questions or comments, please do it. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Thanks, and I'll see you guys in Game 3.